And so tonight's topic is the woman God sees. We will look at Hagar's story. And the story of Hagar is the woman that God sees. The first time Hagar left home was when she was being pregnant with Ishmael. So she left because she felt like she was mistreated and she didn't fit in. Like we would say, I don't fit into that environment. Let me just take myself out. So she took herself and she ran away. In the midst of what she thought was a difficult situation, she had an encounter with the angel of the Lord. Here we are, Hagar walking away the first time from home. She, being an Egyptian slave to Sarah, felt like she needed to go. She was grieved. And so here she is in the desert, and the angel of the Lord, which is Jesus, came to her and said, where are you going? And then he had a conversation with her, seized her for the situation that was in, and sent her back to her master. But when we look further in our text, we are able to recognize that the God who sees you in your situation is able to give you comfort and to make your end great. The plan of God is not what we perceive it to be. Always, God's plan is always higher and better. Somebody needs to type it. Somebody needs to type and text, Joyce, that God's plan for my life is always better than the plan that I have for myself. Always. I'm not higher than God. And what we see is temporal, but God sees the generation that is coming. He will work all things together for your good. Sisters, this is where Hagar recognizes that God saw her in the midst of her mistreatment from Sarai. And then Hagar said in herself, I see the one that sees me. When God sees you in your difficulties, when God sees you in your relationships are hard, when God sees you when your finances are low, when God sees you when the sickness seems like it's overpowering, when God sees you, sometimes you don't always feel it, because sometimes the emotion overrides what the Spirit is telling you. But there is never a time in the Bible where God doesn't show up himself strong on your behalf. I know the enemy lies and he tells us all different things and he magnifies our conditions a little bit higher than what we ought to be. But when God shows up for you, he will call the situation that seems like it's hard and difficult and dreary, make it feel like self cannot be slain and the Spirit of the Lord become arising you. Make it feel like, Jen, you will never be anything else but what you want to be. And sometimes I want us to remember that our ways are not high. Our ways will never be like God's way. So we have to be careful that if we say that we are believers, then we have to trust God in the most difficult situation.